Good day, everyone. Welcome to our pre-full moon garden visualization in Capricorn, January 2026. Capricorn is a very important sign for our Logos. But before we start, let's briefly remind ourselves why a garden. Well, it was DK who advised CDP, one of his disciples, and said to her, "For years, I have referred frequently to your garden of beauty. First of all, I had to lead you to create it. Then later, I taught you to perfect it, then to use it. I taught you also how to dedicate it and to turn it into a shrine of consecration and connect it in your mind with a thought of service. That which is thus created and used," DK said to her, "exists. Today, I would like to tell you that on the inner planes, your garden is of service to my group of disciples and to others in larger numbers than you think. It is a place of gathering for many and a place of refuge for a few. So that's why we have a garden as a group. We follow DK's instructions to CDP. And he also told her to enter her tower and to climb to the summit and there release the light which is in her. So this will be to the garden of your soul what the sun is to the gardens of the world. And then he told her, watch the rays of light pouring out over the garden, awakening it to color and beauty, arousing it to movement and life, and calling forth the songs of the birds and the hum of the bees, and evoking it to a responsive loveliness. So this is exactly what we do. Through our garden, we will evoke color and beauty. There will be movement and life. We will call the birds and the bees, and we will evoke it to a responsive loveliness. There, DK promised, I may meet you when the clouds of glamour roll away, and ask her to ponder on the symbolism hidden in this garden and to work steadily from this center of love and light. So let's watch out for the symbolism in our garden as well. So then, friends, let's continue to build our healing garden now that we know why we are building a garden. So let's continue then to build our healing garden as a group, at some point within the 12 hours prior to each full moon, meeting Dike there and turning it into a shrine of consecration, and intending to offer our garden as a chalice for the love of hierarchy to be poured in selfless service to humanity. So before we build our garden, let's first align with our own soul and as a group. Let's raise the consciousness into the head, as high in the head as you can. And now carry that consciousness upward through the astral body and the mind, then to the soul. And visualize a lotus fully open, scintillating with light and pulsating like a living heart, as a symbol of your soul body. And then place yourself right in the center of your lotus, realizing that you, the personality, and you, the soul, are one. And from that point, definitely and consciously, assume the attitude of the observer as the soul, totally detached and objective. Observe your personality below. Then visualize your etheric body and see energy flowing freely up and down the etheric spine. Then consciously through soul energy down into the center at the base of the spine, using indigo blue light if you don't know the color of your soul ray. Then raise that light slowly via the 5 centers up the etheric spine, then to the ajna and the crown, and into the soul body. And now say the soul mantra. I am the soul. I am light divine. I am will. I am love. I am fixed design. And let us sound one Om as if we were the soul. Now let's gather in our garden. At the entrance to our garden, we stroll through arches of climbing roses, Master KH favorite flower, clusters of flowers in abundance overhead. And choose the colors that you like. And then as you walk down, let the roses gently caress your face as you breathe in the delicate aroma of the cascading, colorful roses percolating through the air. Small, lovingly trimmed emerald green bushes line the stony pathway. And hear the crunch of the stones underneath our feet as we walk on them. Extend your senses. Along an embankment at the end of the archway, there are rows and rows of flowers, flowers of different hues and harmonizing tones. Red, yellow, pink, white. And as we create these rows, we include our own favorite flowers. The blooms shed fresh petals on the path, creating a soft carpet for us to walk on, releasing their individual fragrances as we step on them. On the opposite side of the embankment, we see right in the middle of our space of harmony a lighthouse standing tall and strong, shining beams of light in all directions as a symbol of our united group soul. As we assemble there quietly, we hear a choir of birds fill the space with their clear, melodic notes, welcoming us to this unique space. A chorus of angelic voices sing a soft tune, accompanied by the sound of harps, divas gently strumming their chords. Sitting still around the lighthouse, we feel the gentle warmth of the rays of the sun. Feel it on your chest, on your face, and on your back, warming you. And in the background, the breeze softly swishing through the tall eucalyptus trees chants a melodic lullaby. We are told by DK that the eucalyptus trees are amongst the highest and the most evolved in the vegetable kingdom and have loads of healing properties. So it's very fitting for them to be in our garden. These majestic trees cast their protective shadows on the grass as sunlight peeps through this peaceful garden. Around the lighthouse, we see a large, quiet pool of crystal clear waters. Flowing from the pool, we see rivulets as we hear the gentle trickle of water. And we also see 3 wider streams of golden water flowing steadily. Across them are curved wooden bridges. In one area of the pool float lotuses of all colors in all stages of bloom. Some are in full bloom, revealing their gorgeous jewel, while others are just budding and barely showing their true color, all reflecting their light in the healing waters. Just beyond the pool, a hidden path leads to a cozy and serene corner. A few chairs or a bench, and a small fountain containing supercharged, vitalizing water, perfumed by a single floating lotus, create the perfect spot for an informal sharing of one's difficulties or words of wisdom. And there, in that corner, you can bring in people that you'd like to invite for healing. Call their souls. Inhale the perfume of the flowers, imbuing and permeating the air, as everything in this garden quivers with livingness. In the distance, we hear the soothing sound of water, and we follow it. We come to a tranquil pool where cascading water gently hugs rocks as it joyfully spills in a blue pool, while bubbles of spray ricochet spiritedly in the air. Lush ferns alongside the rocks, draping in the water, enhance the serenity of the place, while the fiery brilliance of the orange and red leaves of surrounding trees brings warmth and invigorating energy to the area. In our mind's eye, we follow a pathway which leads to flower beds. They are a riot of spring color, reds and greens and yellows and pinks, of such vibrancy, winding their way like a gentle stream among the trees. And a row of violet flowers on either side of the meandering bed happily follows the path of the flowers as they release their subtle perfume. Butterflies flutter through the air with their iridescent wings, attracted by the silent serenade of the blooms. They are like the flowers of the air. Their delicate and fragile wings are like floating petals, touching the light and twinkling like diamonds in the air. While buzzing bees surf the open spaces from flower to flower, seeking pollen, which looks like bright golden pixie dust. Now, this garden that we've just created is our garden, our group garden. But now let's take a moment to add a little corner which has our individual touch. Add the colors and the unique features and flora of your own country that you'd like to blossom in this tranquil and serene space. Now let's invite the presence and the cooperation of the healing devas working under the Christ and Master DK. Visualize them in our garden, enlivening it with their magnetism. Sitting quiescent, our hearts eating as one. Let's link up with each other as we say the healer's mantra aloud together. With purity of motive, inspired by a loving heart, we offer ourselves for this work of healing. This offer we make as a group and to the ones we seek to heal. The ones that you've nominated. We open our inner eyes, endeavoring to hold our mind unwaveringly in the group light. And we know that Master DK2 stands steady, pouring out upon us his love and strength, and endeavoring to lift us up into a higher state of consciousness. We are now receptive to Master DK's radiant energy. the light of the lighthouse begins to shine brighter and brighter, intensifying gradually. See this in your mind. And soon this light begins to take shape and a definite figure appears. And in our creative imagination, it's that of Master DK, just as he promised. So then let us be impressed by powerful waves of golden light emanating from Master DK at the summit of our lighthouse, streaming through our harmonious group and irradiating the garden all around us, imbuing it with spiritual goals and desire for liberation. Feel the silent, supernal light of Capricorn immerse our sacred space and let the Master's words precipitate and impress our minds, bringing deeper understanding of this mysterious sign of Capricorn. Capricorn depicts 3 stages of man's evolution. Firstly, it's a sign of the goat, which seeks sustenance in the most rocky and arid of the world places. And as the goat, he is man, the earthly, human, greedy seeker after the satisfaction of desire, climbing to the heights of worldly ambition, or man, the equally selfish aspirant, hunting for the satisfaction of his aspiration. And in the early stages, upon the mutable cross, he is man, the blend of desire, water, and the animal nature, earth. Secondly, it's also the sign of the crocodiles, which live half in the water and half on dry land. Upon the reversed wheel, he is man, the blend of soul and form. And thirdly, it is spiritually the sign of the triumphant initiate, the unicorn of God, the symbol of the unicorn with its one horn out thrust like a single spear upon his brow, instead of the 2 horns of the scavenging goat. Upon the fixed cross, the goat becomes the unicorn and leads to victory. So the crocodile, the goat, and the unicorn depict 3 stages of man's unfoldment. The 3 horn signs, Aries, Taurus, and Capricorn, are the great transformers under the great creative plan. They are in the nature of catalysts. Each of them opens a door into one of the three divine centers of expression, symbols in the body of the planetary logos of the three higher centers in man: the head, the heart, and the throat. These signs are like doorways. Aries opens the sign into Shambhala. Taurus opens the door into hierarchy, while Capricorn, esoterically called the doorway into life of those who know not death, opens the door into the hierarchy in a higher aspect. In these three signs and their relationship upon the fixed cross lies hidden the mystery of Makara and of the crocodiles. The symbol for the sign Capricorn is most mysterious, we are told. It conceals the mystery of the crocodiles or Makara. Let's note the Egyptian god holding an ankh here. Life, the symbol of life itself, hieroglyph of Venus, the hierarchical ruler of Capricorn. Note also the symbolic headdress or Makara's headdress. The fifth creative hierarchy of the crocodiles or Makara is governed by Venus, the hierarchical ruler of Capricorn. So who is this fifth hierarchy? Well, it's a dual one. This hierarchy wields, as we know, the dual aspects of Manas. One in the three worlds, the lower mind, and one which makes itself felt in the higher spheres. They are the fivefold links, the benign uniters, and the producers of atonement. Esoterically, they are the saviors of the race. And from them emanates that principle which, in conjunction with the highest aspect, lifts the lower aspect up to heaven. The units of this fifth hierarchy are called the hearts of fiery love. They save through love, and in their turn, these lives are peculiarly close to the great heart of love of the solar logos. These great redeeming angels, who are the sons of men on their own true plane, the mental, are ever therefore pictured as taking the form of 12 petaled lotuses. This symbology, linking them up with the sun of divine love, the manifested solar system, which is said to be a cosmic 12-petal lotus, and with a logoic causal lotus equally of a 12-petaled nature. We have, therefore, a direct flow of energy flowing from the 12-petal lotus, soul of our solar logos on the cosmic mental plane, to the 12-petaled center, heart center in the human being, to the central point of life in the atom. Thus, the tiny atom is linked with the central life of the solar system. So let's pause for a minute and let's think in the heart, or as a soul group, opening our hearts and minds as we visualize with Venusian clarity the flow of life and love from the egoic lotus of our solar logos on the cosmic mental plane to his heart center on the monadic plane, then to the heart center of our planetary logos, our hierarchy on the fourth Buddhic plane, then to all the solar angels, the hearts of fiery love on the mental plane, then to the heart center of all human beings, stimulating and distributing to the very center of all etheric atoms on the etheric plane. Let's picture this in our mind. Then truly, this whole solar system, our Earth included, is a universe of love. Capricorn, the great sign of crystallization. So what are we crystallizing? In Capricorn, the man reaches either the height of personal ambition or he becomes the initiate, attaining his spiritual goal. What is his spiritual objective? What's ours? Well, Capricorn marks not only the point of the deepest concretion and therefore of death, because for the soul, the dense body of the Logos in which we inhabit is death for the soul. But also it is the point of highest initiation and of entrance into the life aspect of deity. Excuse me. The will is an expression of the law of sacrifice, being essentially that monadic essence identified with the will or the purpose of the planetary logos. The basic sacrifice which the planetary logos made was when he decided to incarnate or enter the form of this planet. This was from pure choice, motivated by his fixed determination to function as the savior of the planet. And so the initiate on his tiny scale must learn also to function as a savior and thus express the law of sacrifice through the medium of the developed, pure, reasoning will, and not simply from that of impulsive love and its activity. So here lies a basic distinction. So this is why the disciple needs to be polarized mentally and use his developed reasoning will. Perfect light being the purpose of our logos. As the great theme of light underlies our entire planetary purpose. The full expression of perfect light, occultly understood, is the engrossing life purpose of our planetary logos. Now the soul itself is light. The entire hierarchy is a great center of light, causing the symbology of light to govern our thinking, our approach to God, and enabling us to understand somewhat the meaning of the words of Christ. I am the light of the world. So these words carry meaning to all true disciples and present them with an analogous goal, which they define to themselves as that of finding the light, appropriating the light, and themselves becoming light bearers. So our goal is to look and seek for the soul, because the soul is light. We need to become light that is soul infused, and then to become bearers of light. A very important message of Capricorn. So our goal is to materialize that light, the soul light, here on earth. And lastly, we have the center of life, where dwells the Ancient of Days, the eternal youth, the Lord of the world, Sanat Kumara, Melchizedek, God. Yet from that center streams the light of life, the light supernal. Our planetary logos, called the Great Sacrifice, made the sacrifice to incarnate owing to his ability to identify himself in full consciousness with the soul in all forms of life. Those seeds of life striving within the substance of the form and seeking added life and light, as the old commentary puts it. His response, as expressed in will, activated by fixed determination, was to meet the deeply hidden divinity within these seeds. So too the initiate, on his tiny scale, has to learn to work as a nourisher and savior of the seeds of life within all forms, with which he may achieve a measure of identification. That is, we need to identify with the soul within all forms. That's what basically DK is saying here. The life force of the Logos within each form of life. Under this law of sacrifice, Sanat Kumara must turn his back upon the central spiritual sun, and with the light of his countenance irradiate the path of the prisoners of the planet, acting as the sun and light of the planet, until the day be with us and the night of Pralaya descends upon his finished task. The soul is portrayed as a lotus with 9 petals, hiding within these petals a central unit of 3 petals. And these in turn secrete the central life, or the jewel in the lotus. And Capricorn guards the secret of the soul itself, and this it reveals to the initiate at the time of the 3rd initiation. This is sometimes called the secret of the hidden glory. That is, when the electrical fire of pure spirit latent in the heart of the lotus is first contacted. So this is our aim, this is our objective, to not only concretize the energy of the soul, but to touch the heart of our lotus, that is the jewel itself, the life of the Logos within the jewel. Lost am I in light supernal, and yet on that light I turn my back, are the keywords for the soul. Let us then be lost too in the light of the solar angel, or in the light of the hidden glory, the light of life, the light supernal in our identification with the solar self or the spiritual self, the hidden life within all forms. Feel all of us lost in that light supernal. So let's visualize our lighthouse standing strong and detached in the middle of our garden, symbol of our silently united soul group as we lose ourselves in the light of Master DK at the summit, glowing as a powerful focal center of harmony, directing the light supernal in the heart of every blade of grass, every flower, every lotus, every tree, and every molecule of water and air of our garden. So let's turn our back on the light of life, the light supernal, and let's distribute it as the one soul with no other goal but service, freely and selflessly offered to humanity. By visualizing the flow of unconditional love or the will to good emanating from the triangle, the avatar of synthesis, the spirit of peace, and the Lord Buddha, powering the Christ at the center. Visualize this triangle of will really clearly in your mind. They carry the light supernal. And now let's superimpose the radiating triangle on another triangle, the soul triangle, consisting of the Christ, the jewel within hierarchy, Master DK, and our soul group. See these two triangles blending, fusing, concretizing on the etheric plane as we superimpose these blended triangles on our group chakric triangle, vitalizing it, energizing our group crown chakra, our group ajna, and group alta major triangle with light supernal. With the energy of the jewel, Buddhi, the will to good. And now in our creative imagination, let's see the etheric plane flooded with these triangles of dispelling radiance. Concretizing the energy of the soul and the will of the soul. Making the substance of the etheric plane intelligent, loving substance. Aligned with the purpose of our Logos. It's on this plane that the magic of the soul happens. So see this very clearly and distinctly in your mind with beautiful images of triangles on the etheric plane. Like diamonds, scintillating with light. Let's precipitate these diamonds of light, of dispelling radiance by using our group ajna, third eye, our third eye, then our group ajna, right eye, left eye. Let's place this blended triangle of dispelling radiance on the 3 planetary inlets, London, Geneva, and New York. And then let us see these diamonds of light radiating out their light way beyond these 3 planetary centers into the neighboring countries, and keep on extending and extending, because this is an endless inflow of light until the whole earth is covered in diamonds of light. We are told by the ageless wisdom teachings that the will to good annihilates all evil, is the only weapon against evil. So therefore let us see these diamonds of supernal light covering the whole area of Russia, Ukraine, the Middle East, this whole area, which DK tells us is covered in a dark cloud. So let us see all the myriads of diamonds that are pouring from these 3 centers dissipate this dark cloud, and let the will to good dissipate the will to power and the will to destroy humanity. precipitate that cloud of diamonds of light on earth until the whole earth is shining just like diamonds, scintillating light. And let us sound a loud and resounding Om from the soul as a soul group in unison with hierarchy as they gather together to receive the energy of Capricorn at the full moon in the next couple of hours. And let us see the Om carrying fiery love or the will to good and the light of life as we direct that sound via the 3 planetary centers to the heart of humanity. And now let us say slowly and deliberately, putting the whole weight of your soul behind the words as you understand the significance of the intent behind the words of the mantra. May the love of the one soul and the one life focused in this group radiate upon you, our fellow man, and permeate every part of your body, healing, soothing, strengthening, and dissipating all that hinders service and good health. And may this strive under the strenuous conditions of the climb to the mountain top. And may the Makara further the metamorphosis of the goats into unicorns. Now, just like Christ does every day, standing under the great pine tree in his garden at sunset, with his hands uplifted in blessing over all those who truly and earnestly seek to aspire, let's picture a great pine tree in our garden. And let's gather around the Christ, Master DK and the Healing Ashram, as well as the whole hierarchy, as they gather together under our pine tree, let us all say the great invocations together as one with hierarchy. Let the forces of light bring illumination to mankind. Let the spirit of peace be spread abroad. May men of goodwill everywhere meet in a spirit of cooperation, and may forgiveness on the part of all men be the keynote at this time. Let power attend the efforts of the great ones. So let it be, and help us to do our part. Let the Lords of Liberation issue forth. Let them bring succor to the sons of men. Let the rider from the secret place come forth, and coming save. Come forth, O Mighty One. Let the souls of men awaken to the light, and may they stand with massed intent. Let the fiat of the Lord go forth. The end of woe has come. Come forth, O Mighty One. The hour of service of the saving force has now arrived. Let it be spread abroad, O Mighty One. Let light and love and power and death fulfill the purpose of the coming one. The will to save is here. The love to carry forth the work is widely spread abroad. The active aid of all who know the truth is also here. Come forth, O Mighty One, and blend these three. Construct a great defending wall. The rule of evil now must end.
Let's work with the great invocation. From the point of light within the mind of God, let light stream forth into the minds of men. Let light descend on earth. From the point of love within the heart of God, let love stream forth into the hearts of men. May Christ return to earth. From the center where the will of God is known, let purpose guide the little wills of men, the purpose which the masters know and serve. From the center which we call the race of men, let the plan of love and light work out, and may it seal the door where evil dwells. Let light and love and power restore the plan on earth. Om.
Thank you, friend. And now let's raise our clasp hands above the head and say, and so let it be, and help us to do our part. Then bring them down to your forehead and let these energies rest gently on your heart. And may the blessing of the Christ and of the hierarchy rest upon all true servers, and may they stand tranquil in the midst of strife. May the light of the garden of our souls be on the inner plane what the sun is to the gardens of the world, a place where the door of initiation stands ever open, and where the light of life shines forth, thus bringing healing to the whole. Thank you, everyone, for joining us today. And we will see you in meditation in a few hours together as we meditate at the full moon of Capricorn 2026. Obviously, a very important sign for our Logos, and hierarchy will probably be using the powers and the energies of that sign to concretize, to precipitate the decisions that they have decided upon at the conclave in 2025. So let's join hierarchy at the time of the full moon and help with a precipitation of hierarchy's energy and intent